What can a lawyer do for you in a DWI case? Great question. I get that question fairly often, and I know there's always an underlying tension there. Do I really need a lawyer? Well, a lawyer can make an extremely big difference in your DWI case, even if you think you have a bad case. Why? DWI is one of the more complicated areas of the law. Here's why. Because you can drink and you can drive. You just can't consume a sufficient amount of an impairing substance to be appreciably impaired at some time relevant to driving. That is a big mouthful. What that means is that you can drink and drive, you just can't have too much to drink and drive. You can also be charged with DWI if you've consumed an impairing substance. That can even be medication. I have people all the time say, oh, wait a minute, I was just taking my medication. How's this wrong? Well, many medications can impair you. So what can a lawyer do for you? First, make the state prove the charge beyond a reasonable doubt. Now, that's the bottom line. But before you even get there, was the stop itself legal? A lot of people think the police can pull you over just because they feel like it. They can't. I've won many cases because of a lack of reasonable suspicion in order to pull you over. If they pull you over just because they think you might have done something wrong, but they can't articulate that, or there's not a reasonable suspicion that you've committed some type of traffic offense or a crime or some indicia, that is an indicator of impaired driving. The next is there sufficient probable cause in order to place you under arrest? How did you do on the field sobriety test? If you didn't do well on those tests, is there a good reason? Did you have a closed head trauma previously? Did you have some kind of physical problems with your ankles, knees, spine, hips, whatever it might be, that prevented you from being able to do well on the test? Was the officer properly trained? Will the officer come to court on your court date and put the case on? There are a million reasons why cases fall apart by the state. And here's the big deal. I had someone tell me today they wanted to know how they could prove themselves innocent. And I'm like, that's not the standard, my friend. The state has to prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You don't have to prove a damn thing. They have to prove it all. You can refute it. And that's what I do. That's what an attorney can do for you. Now, let's look at the worst case scenario. If you are absolutely 100% guilty and you think, well, do I really need a lawyer just to plead guilty? The judge you go before, the way your case is prepared, the way it is presented can be the difference between a level 5 DWI conviction that at the most carries some community service and treatment and a small fine, up to supervised probation or jail time, a level 3, 4, a level 2, or a level 1, or a level 1A. There's all sorts of stuff that can make your life absolutely more miserable than it ever needed to be made. So a good attorney can help you with all these things. So the bottom line, my belief is you absolutely need to at least talk to an attorney and seriously consider hiring one to help you in a myriad of ways, because the state is coming after you and they have more money than anyone. They have prosecutors, they have assistants, they have police officers, clerks, judges, all are in that system, and you need to do everything you can to protect yourself and to do all that's possible to either get you fully out of the charge or to minimize the impact on you. That's what I'm here for. I've been doing it for 30 years, and I'm here to help you, just you. Thanks.